it's Friday?
Indeed it is, and on this Friday, I have a question for you. Have you ever wondered what your life would be like if you weren't obsessed with crochet? Well, today you are going to get to answer that question because we will be creating projects using mediums other than crochet.
So we don't get to crochet at all?
Nope, not even a little bit. You will pick a project of mine, I will pick a project of yours, and then we're going to have to recreate it using something that is definitely not crochet.
Okay.
So, good luck to us both. I'm lucky enough to have a wide assortment of different crafts that I can pick and choose from. But before I can actually do that, I need to decide what complicated knots pattern that I want to recreate. And initially, I was going to hop onto her channel and just do a quick go through of all her videos just to refresh my memory and pick one of her more recent ones to recreate. However, I had a 3 a.m. thought last night, and instead what I'm going to do is recreate an oldie but a goodie. So way back, probably, 2 or 3 years ago now, when we did our very first collaboration, I crocheted this little guy. And I think it would be nice, just sort of for, sentimental reasons, to recreate this pattern again as a bit of an homage to our first collaboration. But I mean, also it's just a really cute little spider, isn't it? Now comes perhaps the more challenging part where I need to select my medium. As I mentioned, I do have an assortment of crafts to choose from. I've got fabric, so I can do sewing. I've got felt, I've got paper, I've got paints, I've got perler beads, I've got miscellaneous beads. I don't even know where these things are bloody from. I've got more traditional art supplies like pencils, oil pastels, I've got tie-dye, I've got clay, I've got cross-stitch stuff left over, I've got punch needling stuff left over. Now, I could pick from any one of those crafts and I think I could make it work, but I kind of want to take this to the next level. Do something here that I've never done before. And I have an idea. And this could be either madness or brilliance.
Well, I suppose I'm not going to need this today. So I need to pick a project and make it with something that isn't crochet. And look, I'll level with you. We are a crafty kind of household. So I have access to a lot of different tools and materials at this point. I've got beads, I have a couple of craft kits over there for paper and latch hooking. I've got all the needle felting stuff that I've never used. I've got lots of origami paper, and with Mr. Bones around as well, I've also got access to wire cutting stuff and wood carving stuff. But I don't really know what I want to do today. But what I think is going to be a little easier is the project that I want to do, because as soon as I heard the challenge, I knew exactly what project I wanted to do today. It's my favorite pattern I think that Lee has ever done. And it's my favorite one of hers that I've ever made as well. And I don't know if you guys remember the little goldfish we made together once upon a time. This is a pattern over on Skein Spider. I always thought she was just so pretty. So I would love to try and recreate her today. Lee does a lot more with multimedia than I do. And I know that she's cooking up something really cool. So it's just one of those things where I have to try and match that energy. So I'm just gonna have a real think about what it is that I want to be doing today. Because there's arguments to be made for a few of the different crafts.
Yep, we are going to make a spider cake, or at least we're going to try to. And that is all the audio I'm going to do for now because I am sure it is absolutely terrible in this kitchen. 503 grams, that's close enough to 500. We're on the last 2 minutes. I have a timer.
Okay, I think I've come up with what I want to do. So, with all of the many crafts at my disposal that I am at least passingly familiar with, instead I'm going to choose to do something that I have no familiarity with at all. I'm going to try watercolors today. We're going to try and create an actual little like art piece. I have a little bit of a family history with this. My nana's always been a painter and has always worked with like watercolors as well as like acrylics, and I think there's maybe some oils in her past, but like in any case, I've been exposed to it but never really given it a go, and it's something I've been wanting to try for a while. So what do you reckon, Goldie? Should we paint you like one of our French girls? We're going to give watercolors a go. We're going to try and make it fancy. We're going to get in over our heads and it's going to be fun. So I think what we need to do is do some sketching of some little like thumbnails. It's like what this piece is actually going to look like before we break out the paints. I'm surprisingly stressed about this. You'd think it'd be relaxing.
Right, so I have some really basic watercolor paints there. Some washi tape, which I've been told can be used instead of masking tape, so we've got some of that. And I have just a little pad of watercolor paper because I know that it does need special paper. And there is our leading lady. All right, I've been looking everywhere for my double-sided tape and I cannot find it, so we're just gonna make do. I also found some watercolor pencils, so we're gonna have to do some just like tests as to what I end up liking better. An old picture frame that I would have bought for something, but I'm willing to like donate it to this particular project. And yeah, we got some paintbrushes. We just got a bunch of stuff. So let's put all this to one side and work out what this thing is actually going to look like.
I just want to do a quick test. And the instructions said to cook these with tin foil on the top. And it took a big chunk out when I removed it. But apart from that, oh, it's mostly clean. I think it needs like maybe two-ish more minutes. Not very long at all. Put the timer on, 1, 2. That's all it's gonna need, I think. Coming. All right, shut up. Shut up. Let me turn that off, turn that off. I'm just gonna let these cool down in the oven for a bit. And then we'll take them out. I'm gonna leave these to completely cool down, and then once they have, we can start shaping our spider. I have no idea how this is supposed to work, but I'm gonna give it a go.
Let's do some squares. And I want to make sure that I don't just make the first thing that I draw, because I do that sometimes. I like, oh, hey, I like that one, and bingo bango, 5 seconds later, I've committed. No, we want to make sure I do at least 3 little thumbnails, apparently right in the middle of the page, because we're just like that. So we have our sweet little lady here. And we could go for like goldfish bowl type of vibe.
What do you think? Do you reckon it'll work?
Good. Okay, so I've marked out the backdrop that we're going to be using and I've labeled it because I am trying to stay as organized as possible, even if I'm sure this looks extremely chaotic to anybody who actually knows what they're doing. And I've also just cut out a little stencil for my fish because I'm going to try and build this up in a couple of different like little layers. I honestly don't know if I'm being over ambitious or under ambitious, but so yeah, I think the time has come to start testing some water. So you can see I've mapped out what I think each of the layers is going to be, and they're already changing as I cut things up and learn from them. Like don't think we need a second eye on that piece. Well, I don't know if it's going to work, but we might as well try it. So that's what I'm going to try and do in our picture frame. But we do need to just do a few like medium tests. This is fine. This is fine, isn't it? Yeah, cool. When you have the support of a goldfish, what more do you possibly need? Also, everyone should admire my water cup. Basically, we need 2 main groups of colors. We need background colors and we need fish colors. Now, the little bit that I remember about watercolors is you get the paper wet. Oh, I should probably have taken this out of the book. Hold on. We'll try and do this correctly. There we go. Alrighty. In any case, I think a combination of these 2 blues is probably what the background is going to be. I'll maybe stick to like this really rich one around the very edges and like it's like some shadow blobs in the meantime. I think this might be more of a seaweedy type of color.
Like, because it's a nice dark color for background seaweed. Try and build a gradient. And now we have our fish colors. And so we've got, I definitely want to stick with yellow, but I think I want to bring a little orange in around the edges as well. So if I just do like, alrighty, so that's kind of an experimentation with those, but I also do have these. Okay, I'm enjoying the precision of these a lot. No white one. I do have a white watercolor, but I just don't know if that's really how this works. So the biggest downfall is I have to be very careful to guard my white spaces, and I know I could mask them off, but for something like the white of an eye, I'm not sure if that really is big enough to mask off, because I don't have any way of putting white back on them. I don't have like a white gel pen or anything like that. Okay, I feel like I'm picking up some techniques here, you know? Go back in and add pencil that way, or of course you can always outline over the top if any of this is dry. We're not quite dry yet, but like, you know what I mean. Might be a little harsh for what we're doing today. I kind of like the pencil lines over the top. I'll say yellow doesn't contrast super well there, but I'm thinking maybe some little orange scales might be just the ticket. All right, the question here is, am I feeling brave enough to actually attempt the main piece?
Welcome to Skein Spider Cake Decorating. I'm your host Lee, and today we're going to be making a spider cake. Yeah, I'm not keeping that up for the whole video, but we are attempting to make a spider cake. I might have to tie my hair up for this one because I'm already breaking a couple of the OH&S regulations by preparing food in this room, so the least I can do is tie my hair back. I gotta level with you guys. On the rare occasions that I do make desserts, I'm very much I care more about how it tastes than how it looks kind of person. So my cake decorating experience is limited. And the few attempts that I have made at it haven't really gone all that well. I remember I once tried to make flamingo cupcakes for my niece. They kind of looked like just sad, wilted flowers by the time I was finished with them. So I am not confident that this is going to go well, but at least you guys might get a laugh out of it. So I've got my cake, I've got my icings, 2 different kinds, and then I just have a bunch of things I'm going to use to decorate. I'm not even sure how to go about this. I think I need to carve out the spider shape first. So there is a spider hidden in here somewhere. We just need to reveal it. And then I'm going to do my best using the supplies that I have to make it look like this. I find myself a little bit reluctant to start because I can just picture all the ways this can go wrong. But I just got to dive in and start. Will YouTube flag me for doing that? Maybe I shouldn't be brandishing a knife around like that. I would like to tilt it up slightly. If I grab out a bit of cake from here, and I just pop that under the back. Ooh, that works. I think that works.
So we've done some tests. I'm going to start with, I think, what's going to be the easiest piece, which is just that background. I basically just need to paint like a big blue rectangle with maybe like a hint, barest hint of like yellow at the bottom, but mainly just like some interesting blue tones throughout. I should have taped this down firmly. I see that now. Might try do the seaweed directly over the top and then just use pencil to add some outlines to it later if we decide we want that. Oh good, now I've left lines all over everything. It's fine, it's fine, it's fine. It's just the background layer, right? We want it to be a little bit blurry and a little bit smudgy. As long as we nail the fish, I think most things will be forgiven. I've painted all my pieces, so now I just kind of need to like let them dry and then we can see if anything or if this is nothing. Only time will tell.
Now I want to go ahead and add the icing. I have two different colours. I got light pink and dark pink, and I went with pink because, well, we had pink. Well, that's the sides of the cake that won't have the crumblies, but I am worried about the sides. Oh no. Whatever. We're powering through. We are powering through. The icing won't even stick to the side. How am I supposed to put this on? Stay on. It's just getting crumbs on it. It's not sticking. So that doesn't bode well for this bit because the whole bloody thing is crumbly. Is it like too thick? Do I need to water it down? Yeah, this is not going well. Oh, why the hell did I pick frigging cake? I know why I picked it. I thought it would be funny. Who's laughing now?
Alrighty, I am back. It's mostly dry. I think that like the fish pieces have dried a little nicer. The background got a little bit more wet, so it's not quite there yet. I've been drying it flat under a book though, and I think that's been helping it a lot. At the very least, it's got kind of an interesting texture to it, so even if it's not like perfect, it should at least be interesting. But I do think that we can start adding some details and messing around with these fish pieces. So I kind of think that I'm of two schools of thought about the whole thing, you know? Part of me thinks I should add details and then cut them out, and the rest of me thinks that I should cut them out first and see if they're even the right sort of pieces for me to be using. Feeling very indecisive today. Now all we have to do is assemble.
It's not too bad. It looks slightly more presentable now that there's not crumbs and icing, you know, just scattered everywhere. I don't want to touch the spider with my sticky hand, so... But now I need to add the eyes, the legs, and the little fangs. Here we go. The head is a little bit more square than in the original pattern, so the eyes don't work quite as well, but I got them on there. That is the important thing. And then finally, I have the fangs. All I could think to do for those was to cut some out of these sour straps. Ta-da!
Okay, I'm really pleased with it so far. All I have to do now is assemble it, and unfortunately I cannot find my double-sided tape anywhere. So we are going to be MacGyvering this together a little bit. I just can't believe that this is something I've done. So yeah, we're going to assemble it, and I don't know how much of that is actually going to be shown here because we do have to keep some secrets for the reveal.
I went ahead and did something a little bit silly, and I made my, what are we calling it? Ink project out of something that's going to deteriorate very quickly. So I need to do my reveal first. I'll begin by showing you what pattern I crocheted. I didn't crochet it, I made it out of something else, but I chose your little spider.
We've got one rule, please.
Yeah. And I decided to pay tribute to that pattern by making a cake.
He's wonderful. Look at him. Yeah, no wonder you had to do your reveal early. Have you cooked up that butt with a cookie?
It's a couple of days old now, so, and I don't want it to slide up on my laptop.
I'm so sorry. You should have said.
Ooh, I'll give you a close up of the eyes.
I love the little mustache.
Well, I tried to get the fangs right, but I didn't really have anything to use. So it was either sour straps or like snake heads from the lolly snakes. So I went with sour straps. But yeah, he's got chocolate chip eyes, musk stick legs, and yeah, the rest is just vanilla sponge. That was my ridiculous idea that I came up with.
Several days later.
Alrighty, so I hear you finished your Ickbink project.
I have.
I'm excited.
Okay. There's a lot of pressure after seeing yours already. Like it was a lot. But
I think you're up for the challenge.
Well, I mean, I've already done it, so we're about to find out.
True.
So, do you remember, like, I think it was in the first couple of collabs we did together, I was assigned to make your goldfish, right? This is all based on your goldfish pattern. I feel like I have to show this for what I've made to actually make sense. So, all right, I thought I would try my hand at something very different for me. And I made like a little watercolor.
Oh, that is so cool. It's like a shadow box kind of thing. That is amazing.
Yeah, I got kind of like some, like 3 dimensions in it. I really like it.
That is brilliant.
So
yeah,
that's my Ickbink.
So I hope you didn't think I was going to forget about that. For the duration of this challenge series, we are just going to be sneaking the hookup in at the end of each video. So today's featured creator on the hookup is Julia, and she says, I have been crocheting for 10 years now, starting with making Pokemon to animals and now dolls. As of recently, I've been crocheting the 1980s line of strawberry shortcake characters in hopes to make all 20 plus. Strawberry shortcake is not something that I was familiar with. My 80s cartoons were like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles and Transformers. My Little Pony was in their Care Bears. Back in the good old days of media, you know, when corporations made cartoons for the simple purpose of getting kids to annoy their parents to buy them toys. Completely different from the media of today. But anyway, if you would like to check out Julia's strawberry shortcake project or any of her other crochet projects for that matter, all her links will be down in the description, and so will link to the hookup form if you would like to apply for yourself. Before we wrap up here today, make sure you let us know what you thought of our non-crochet projects, and also if you had to pick a crochet project and recreate it using another medium, what medium would you pick and why? I'd be interested to know that. So thank you all for watching. Consider subscribing to both channels if you haven't already. Like the video if you enjoyed it, share it if you think it's worth sharing, and I will see you, or we will see you in fact, in the next one.